Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It seems like we made it into June. It seems like June decided it wants to get warm, besides rainy. So at least this week we're going to get a little reprieve on getting any precipitation somewhat. Today is June the 9th, 2026. It's about 9:03, 9:05. Let's go with 9:05. Liberty County Commissioners Court regular meeting. And let the record show that all commissioners are here this morning. We do have business before the court. So at this time, if you would all please rise. Ms. Chambers is going to lead us in our pledges, and Ms. Maselli is going to lead us in our invocation.
Please face the American flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please face the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Angela, if you would.
I'm going to read a verse first. I like to read the word.
Yes,
before I
ma'am.
pray. So it is out of 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. And if you go to verse 10, that's where it says, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Father God, we just thank you for having strong leadership in this court. And thank you for the peaceable way they can disagree or agree. Thank you, Father, for all of the emergency responders, the first responders, Lord, that work in this county. Keep your arms around them, Lord, and keep them safe, because we don't know when we will have to call on them. And it could be in our worst time, and they will be available. Thank you, Father, for the sacrifice that they make. Thank you, Lord, that you lead us and you lead this county, that you are the one that we look to and ask things. If we need to make decisions, Lord, that we look to you before we make those big decisions. Father, you are always faithful. You are never caught off guard, and you are not surprised. And you endure with us. Thank you, Father, for who you are and what you do for this county. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. I might mention that we're just 3 days removed from an incident that happened 82 years ago, I believe it was, the Normandy invasion. I think about that and how many of those veterans are still left. And I'd like to add to that to please lift them up in prayer and thank them for their service. I could not imagine what it would have been like. All righty. We've got some notices and proclamations today. And of course, one of them is one of my all-time favorites. And it's one of those deals, a gift that keeps on giving. So the first one is for the recognized Liberty County Historical Commission earning a Distinguished Service Award for their work in 2025. This award is given to recognize exceptional performance determined by a statewide assessment of annual reports, highlighting the above average contributions of Liberty County Historical Commission. So, Ms. Jameson, if y'all would ease up here and visit with me a minute, and let's y'all notice my knees are working a lot better. Sure
That's
do.
good. That's good. I'm so glad.
I was hurt. Hombre, it's all good. Thank y'all for being here. Miss Linda, 2025. Historical Commission presents the Distinguished Service Award for Liberty County Historical Commission recognition of its above and below house preservation program. And I know y'all stay busy.
We do.
Let me first,
In and out of the office.
yeah, you do. It's, we thank you for all the folks that work with you. Some of them I know pretty well.
Yeah.
And,
Well, we appreciate you and the commissioner's support.
yeah, one of them especially, those school teachers like him. It's, here's your newest Historical Commission Distinguished Service Award. And if you would tell us a little bit about what y'all got going on.
Well, we've always got a lot going on. As I mentioned, in and out of the office, probably what most people don't know, even some of the commission members, I get telephone calls all the time from people that are out of state, primarily that have, they're working on their family history, genealogy, and at one point or another, their ancestors either came through Liberty County or stayed here and died here, and they can't find records. So I assist them in doing that. And we have many cemetery records and other records at our disposal. So I try to do that and take care of that, just email, text, and that sort of thing. And they're most appreciative when they are miles off and can't get to the records that are available here.
It's kind of like the one-stop shop.
Yes, yes.
It is.
So we have many other things going on. You know, we do a lot of cemetery preservation. And we're still working on the Anderson Cemetery. That's going to be a multi-year preservation project, and that's going very well. We also, and I would encourage everyone here to come, but we also are doing historic walks through Liberty, and we'd like to spread to the other towns, to Dayton and Cleveland and so forth, but Liberty, being the third oldest town in Texas and such deep, rich history, is a natural to do this sort of thing, and also it's walkable.
Yeah.
So a couple of months ago, we had another tour, walking tour, and it was very well received. We had a lot of people that showed up, and not everybody's able to walk, but many are, and we lead them through the town to usually different spots. This particular tour, we tried to take in areas that we've not done a tour for before. One interesting part of this tour, we stopped at the post office, which is the spot that many of the old schools where they used to be until they were raised. And so we talked a little bit about the schools, and then we talked about the WPA.
Right.
And during the time, during the Depression, when the WPA program came in, toward the end in 1939, they must have had a lot of excess funds because they started hiring artists and Texas artists, and decided that they were going to have murals painted to commemorate the history in Texas and place them in some of the buildings, and they decided post offices would be part of that program because everybody goes to the post office, and particularly during that period of time. Everyone has to go to the post office and mail and pick up their mail and buy stamps and so forth. So that seemed like an natural spot. And many of you probably don't know that Liberty was part of that program. The mural was placed in the old post office, which is on North Main Street. And when they built the new post office, they carefully removed that mural and moved it to the new building. And when you go through the double doors, it's easy to miss because it's up high. So I ask if you don't go to that mural, you have to see the picture, please go in and take a look. It's just magnificent. So anyway, so calling the citizens' attention to local history is a primary focus that we have. And so we'll be doing more tours, and watch for those and join us.
Please do.
Yeah.
Now, I know everybody knows everybody's up here, but if you would go ahead and introduce
Of course, I'm Linda Jameson, I'm county chair. It's Roberta Barton, and she's vice chair. And Neil Thornton, her husband, just does anything we ask him to do. Well, I was just trying to clean it up. And then Beverly Davis is our secretary. So we're happy to have you here this morning. Hard workers.
Thank you so much. Beverly, you still doing some, things down at the house?
Oh, yes.
I know the other parts.
Ron Museum.
Keep us, yeah. Keep us good.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so
They're
much for
volunteers.
your involvement and, gosh, every year you get to come back, every year I'm just blown away. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for your support. We certainly appreciate everything that the Commissioners Court does for us. They give us office space over in the Martell Building. They give us funding to do our work, and we're just most appreciative. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right. Come on now. Everybody, I'm pretty sure you know Janice. Right? If you don't, she is your state representative. So you ought to get to know her real well, right?
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to add to this, Ms. Jameson, in recognition of receiving the 2025 Distinguished Service Award from the Texas Historical Commission. This prestigious honor reflects your outstanding commitment to preserving Liberty County's rich history, promoting public education, and advancing in historic preservation efforts for the benefit of future generations. And as a former fourth grade Texas history teacher, I tell you what you do is so important. So thank you to you and your board for all the hard work that you do. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you so much.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for all your work. Appreciate you. And all your work you do, sir. Appreciate you.
You're
Thank you.
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you.
It always reminds me of back in the time, especially when I get a chance to sit down and talk to Neil, of our Texas history teacher in your old Dayton School District, Lane Spraker. I know you had, yeah, he was a cousin. Okay, so when they said that you need to go to the office with me, I understood why. So I was fixing to leave the board of trustees. But,
The backside of the battle.
that's exactly right. But, he introduced us to cool things like Texas history movies, which was like a caricature, not a cartoon book, but it's really Texas history with drawings. And it would keep everybody's attention. And it was just one of those kind of teachers that you couldn't throw anything past him that he didn't know. That's why I enjoy sitting down and talking to Bill, because he's been there too. And Texas history is one of his favorites. But we do have some customs and discussions about it. Yeah. Anyway, thank y'all so much for being here today. Yes,
Thank you.
Great. I appreciate everything you do. Go get it. Well, we got a proclamation for Elder Abuse Awareness Month. This is, whereas older adults, it didn't say old adults, right? It's older. And people with disabilities and diverse backgrounds contribute to the well-being of this city by working, caregiving, volunteering, and actively preserving customs, rituals, and traditions. And whereas as we age, we build on them by accumulating knowledge, experience, insight, and wisdom that can be shared to enrich our community. And whereas abuse of older adults and people with disabilities is a community concern affecting thousands of people across Texas. And whereas abuse affected more than 125,000 older adults and people with disabilities in Texas in 2025. Whereas abuse against older adults and people with disabilities is grossly unacceptable because of social stigma, embarrassment, and fear. Whereas adult abuse affects men and women of all incomes and ability levels, all cultural and ethnic backgrounds, in all communities. And whereas elder abuse is everyone's business. It's important to strengthen our efforts to prevent, report, and address elder abuse. So now therefore, that that I, County Judge, County Judge, of the county, recognition thereof, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2026 as Elder Abuse Awareness Month, and urge all residents to work together to reduce abuse and neglect of older adults and people with disabilities signed today's date. Y'all come on up, folks. And, tell us about what you're doing, and first of all, introduce yourselves, because Ms. Chambers is gonna have to have your name, and she's better at remembering names than I am. Appreciate it. Hey, man.
Okay, I'll start. My name is Reginald Swift. I'm the supervisor of adult protective services here at Liberty, and I'll let my investigators introduce themselves.
Well, I'm Calvin Nichols, investigator for Unit 28 here in Liberty.
And I'm Juliana Garcia, also investigator for Unit 28 here in Liberty.
Well, a little short this morning. I have 8 investigators under my supervision in Liberty County. We cover the largest rural area in Texas, actually. We have Liberty County, Chambers County, half of Montgomery County, and parts of Harris County. So we have a very big area to cover. For those of you that don't know, we investigate abuse, neglect, and exploitation of the elderly and disabled, and we also provide services to those individuals. Those services range from utility payments to building ramps, repairing roofs. We do a ton of things. We kind of tailor the service plan to our clients. If any of you ever need us, just give us a call. The State Abuse Hotline is open 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you need us, give us a call and we'll get out there and we'll make an assessment and hopefully we can help those in.
So how would they get in touch with you locally if they need to? Do you have an office?
Yes, I have an office. My office is located in the Health and Human Services building over off of Monica Street. And I can provide contact information for anyone that wants to call me directly or has an issue that they would like.
Well, the Vindicator and the Blue Light News are here today. If you get the opportunity, maybe sit down with them and give them all your information and how to get in touch with you.
I probably don't want to do that, do
Wait, brother, you do. It's, they can put it in an article and also, maybe your email, contact information as well. Thank y'all so much for what you do, and thank you for being here this morning. I never get tired of giving these out, but again, speaking about the folks that it helps every day. So again, thank you. This is for you. Okay, we gotta look over the next one. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. Thanks, sir. Okay, moving right along, we come to the public comment section of our agenda, and we do have 2 folks that are signed up to comment this morning. And as you know how this works, if you can sign up in our office early, hopefully earlier the better, and we can get you in front of the court. You can state your purpose, and now the way this works is we'll give you 3 minutes. If you need to go over a little bit, we're pretty lenient with this as well, but we cannot comment back, okay, because it's not an agenda item. But you're welcome to come up if you would, please. And I have Balaji Tamagatula. Am I close? Pretty close. Okay. And also Derek Matthews. So probably help me on the pronunciation because Ms. Chambers is pretty stickler on that. And
come out, let's do that.
Great. Okay. And who do y'all represent?
We represent the QYK facility.
QYK.
That is, down off 90 and 770.
Okay, that's that way that you're pointing.
Oh, yeah. That.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Point, you kind of pointing northwest. I'm like,
That's
wait a
the wrong
minute. Yeah,
direction. That's
okay.
backstage.
We got you.
Raywood.
Okay.
All right.
So I appreciate you giving us a few minutes to speak. I think there has been a lot of confusion around the site lately, and so really, I'm going to use this time to just get into it a little bit. I want to thank the community and the residents, first of all, for letting us be a part of this community. All right, that's a huge part of it. Now we understand that there's some concerns, and I think it's important to really talk about how this project came to be. The land project started and continues to be a project centered around the United States industrial capability, manufacturing resiliency, infrastructure, and future government-related supply chain needs. A major cornerstone of our project is our MAA facility, which is in conjunction with the Department of Health and Human Services. This contract is set to be executed and out the door December of this year. From the beginning, this project has been focused on strengthening American resiliency and industrial capability, and basically bringing back manufacturing capabilities from overseas that we didn't have during COVID. That's the major part of what this facility was for. I think there's some misunderstanding that this has now become a 700-acre hyperscale data center, and that is absolutely farthest thing from the case. This is an energy facility, and this is an industrial facility and a manufacturing facility. And we do plan at some point in the future, there might be some computing, but out of 4.5 million square feet of manufacturing for magnets, robots, 3D printing, government supply chain, there might be 150,000 square feet of computers out of 4.5 million. Less than 2% of 700 acres is going towards potentially computers. Our vision of this facility is really to bring back America's greatness in manufacturing. When we came down here, we had no power, right? We went to the grid, we went to Entergy, and we said we need energy. They said there is none. So we created our own. We ran a gas pipeline and we are creating our own energy. And we have about 300 megawatts of power left over that we're looking at selling back to Entergy to actually reduce the power cost of this area and bring up the resiliency. Water is another concern. We are capturing about 400 million gallons of rainwater on our site to reuse in our water treatment facility so that we can become what's called water neutral. Right? Most of these facilities out there have a lot of fear around them because of the energy consumption and the water consumption. We are not using any energy. We are not using any water, right? So I'm trying to eliminate the two most important things right out of the gate. We are also making significant investments into the community. We're building a fire station that will be utilized in a joint venture with the Liberty County Fire Department. I believe that's right. Right? That's like a $45 million capital investment into this community right out the gate. We also are reaching into the schools because we're going to have advanced engineering and science programs at our facility. We want the kids of Raywood and Liberty to have a bright future here, not have to leave and go other places. This facility will bring 1,000 high-paying engineering and advanced robotic and science jobs to this community. And as well as we haven't taken any tax incentives. This facility will make billions of dollars a year. We have not taken one tax payment, nothing. Right? And so we are here to be a part of this community and add value. And I think that really helps clarify it. Out of 4.5 million square feet, 150,000 square feet might be computers. And that's not today. Today, we have a government contract that has to be executed and out the door in about 6 months. And so that is our priority. And because an article that went out that was entirely miscommunicated, it has brought a lot of heat down on us and a lot of uncomfortable feelings around us. Right now, I think that the most important thing is that there are no plans today for a data center, and we have extra power that we'd love to talk to the community about to understand how we can best utilize it, right? Since we created our own, we don't want it just to go to waste. We need to figure out something to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mighty fine. Well, thank y'all for coming in. It might behoove you to speak to the media folks here today. You probably already have a little bit, but for any further clarifications, if you'd like to, the Vindicators here. And also Blue Bonnet News. Okay, mighty fine. But thank you. And Irvine, California, is that right? Good Lord. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I hand you guys?
Sure.
Just quickly, to make everything clear, we created a website called Lab Texas.
So it answers all the questions, what we're doing, what's happening on the site. And we want to put together a comprehensive plan for everyone to understand what's going on. 3 to 5 minutes is not enough for us to actually lay it out.
Right.
But given the opportunity, we would want to come back here and present our plans in detail.
Okay. Well, you're always welcome to come back and just give us a call. We much prefer that you give us a call in advance instead of waiting a little too late. Okay. All righty. Thank you so much. And y'all have a blessed day. Appreciate you showing up.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
All right. That is everybody for public comment. Item number 6 is declare conflicts of interest. Anybody have a reason to declare any conflicts today? No conflicts. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. It's okay. All right. Move on to the consent agenda. I'm sure you've all had the opportunity to look over the consent agenda. If so, Angela, are there any add-ons today?
Yes, I have one add-on. It's from Veteran Services, and it's a budget amendment moving $1,200 into office expense from Veterans Medical Transport.
95. Got all that, Lee? Okay, good. All right. Has the court had the opportunity to review this, or if so, any further questions, and entertain a motion?
Judge, I have a correction.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I'm sorry, there's a typo on the county clerk's payment to that employee. It states that it's 45.93 hours, but it's actually 45.53 hours, and that'll make the math work to the 9/16/51.
So the dollar amount is correct, it's just we put the wrong one.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept consent agenda along with the add-ons and the corrections.
Got a motion from Bruce, a second from Greg. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does pass. Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on to the regular agenda. One of my favorites to always get to visit with the sheriff. It's an information item, a report from Liberty County Sheriff Bobby Rader on the continuing repairs of the Liberty County Jail. And upon its completion, I would ask for a motion to accept. Sheriff?
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. This is a weekly maintenance update. Our fire restoration that I keep always starting off with first, that's the 2 doors we're still looking for, are going to come hopefully around November, December to get that done. Fire restoration will be complete. The front Salaport doors, they've been ordered and they're expected to be here by December. We'll get those done. The exhaust system, the smoke purge fans, they have been ordered. Said it'd take maybe up to 10 weeks to get them. And then the installation would be about 3 or 4 weeks when we receive them. We're still doing the 15-minute fire watch checks on the HVAC system. It continues, the work continues to go on. The West Hall is fully operational and going. The camera system, phase 1, as I mentioned before, is complete. That was the installation of 106 cameras. And that's West Hall bookend and the interior and exterior cameras. Phase 2 is now completed. There was 30 cameras that were installed in phase 2, and that included the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, East Hall doors and East Control. Phase 3 is starting. Hopefully it'll be through by the middle of July or so. And it's roughly 30 more cameras to do it. Our door locks, West Hall and 6 dorms now are fully operational with functioning locks and intercom system. That allows us to house 168 inmates that we currently have, and we have 8 in booking right now. We have 162 out. They're supposed to return late in July, August to finish the other dorms. Our ceiling project, I was talking with Stephanie, we're supposed to have some quotes come in. Hopefully we'll present them to you next Commissioner's Court for approval to get that work done. The QCBT dish network that y'all approved last Commissioner's Court has continued to work. Last week they installed the cables, the receivers A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, and RQ. And they also have a TV in the booking area that allows the detox 1 and 2 and all the holding cells to view while they're in their cells. But hopefully, when it comes in, they'll be through this week on the work on that. We have the freezer replacement is going on. As you know, the freezer went out, and Commissioner Karbowski's helped us out on several occasions with that. But the project's supposed to start on June 22nd to take out the old one and put in the new one. Our maintenance people, not the contractors, but our maintenance people are helping out with the construction, the plumbing work's being done, and all the dormitories, especially A, B, C, D, the cells, and the day rooms and toilets, showers are all being redone. The old metal TV shelves have been removed in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that allows us to install the new TV enclosures in the day rooms that will help all the tinkering and proliferating and everything else of the wiring out of them. The light fixtures, electrical are currently the main focus in those dorms, and most of the old light fixtures have been tampered with, broken, and the wiring used for illegal things. But currently we're working on getting all those replaced, Judge. Thank you.
Mighty fine. How's the population looking right now, Sheriff? Is it
We have in our facility here, we have 168. I know that we received a letter.
Yes, sir.
Judge, it's been, I don't know if the crime is up in Liberty County or not, but the last couple of weeks, I think in a week, they put in 58, had 58 last week arrests put in the jail. So we've been shipping them out. Right now, we have 168 in our facility,
yes,
plus the 8 in booking, and we have 162 out in other facilities.
How's TDCJ doing now? Are they still on top of their game, or?
Yeah, they're still working with us. We're getting a few out every week, and not everybody we'd like to get out, but they are taking some about every week. We're getting them out.
Glad to hear that. Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Well, thank you. You
Appreciate
made some
your
calls.
report.
You got the contacts.
Do my best.
Yes, sir.
All right. What say the court?
Make a motion to accept the report.
I'll second it.
Motion from Bruce, second from Gerald to accept the sheriff's report. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Okay, item number 2. One more time, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Information item, Liberty County Sheriff's Office, Liberty County Jail and Lone Star Commissary Service Agreement changing from an escrow account to Lone Star Commissary to manage commissary during the term of this agreement. And this is just once again a motion to accept. This is an agreement that the sheriff takes care of and not the court. Okay.
Correct. As you know, Judge, under the local government code 351, it gives the sheriff authority to deal with the commissary, either operate it itself or have somebody from the outside do it. And this is a renewal. We've been with Lone Star Commissary for several years. I believe when Commissioner Arthur was the sheriff, they had Lone Star Commissary. They've been a very good vendor for us, just like NCIC has been. The contract is up for renewal. It was up for renewal for 1 year, and we have, just like in the previous years, you have an option for 4 more years each year, independent of the other that we do. So it's a renewal. Work with Angela on some of the contract issues. The chief has talked with Angela. It's just a renewal of the contract with kind of change in the funding.
Yes, sir.
So this contract renewal won't be impacted if you change jails?
No, sir. In fact, there are some fringes, I guess, that could be added when you go to a bigger facility. Actually, Lone Star has offered to furnish an employee to handle commissary at their expense, not our expense.
Can I add something? So we realized that you guys have an escrow account, right?
Yes.
So in that escrow account, just for future reference, we would like to have copies of the invoices that you use to buy that before you get them bought. That's all. Because we already, we audit the forfeiture account, and this one is a new one that we just realized you had. And so the best way to do that is just you guys turn in the invoices that you purchase.
Yes.
We kind of had to talk about it the other day. So if we can just get copies of those, all the invoices before you buy it, that way we know what's happening.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
What say the court?
Make a motion to approve.
Is it approve or
Just
accept?
accept.
I'm sorry.
Motion
To accept, yes.
Okay. Looking for a second?
I'll second it.
Was that Gerald?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, got a motion from Bruce, second from Gerald to accept. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you. Gentlemen, and item number 3, this is from Office of Emergency Management. Consider and approve the purchase of 50 LifePak CR2 automated external defibrillators in approximately 28 county buildings across Liberty County in the amount of $104,750 to be paid from the opioid settlement funds. We're still having to look at the legal aspect of this and the purchasing aspect of this. So I would ask you to take no action at this time, and let's have the chance to settle the dust and see which is the right way to do this. Okay.
Take no action or table?
So
we can bring it back.
AJ, you want to give us a little update on this?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you to take no action at this time, but
Okay.
AJ, if you would explain a little bit.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Chief Knox got this this grant, I guess about a year ago or so. And through the opiate settlement, the language reads law enforcement, first responders. So as I'm coming in as Office of Emergency Management, wanting to put 28 AEDs in the 28 county buildings, which is not mandated by the state of Texas to have cities or county buildings to have an AEDs in those facilities.
Right.
So there's something that I thought about, and I figured that we had the grant money available, but it was specifically written for law enforcement and first responders.
Yes,
That's where we are.
it's a worthy and gallant effort. I'll say that. Nobody has an Aston Martin like James Bond with a built-in defibrillator. So, it'd be kind of nice if we did, but I would think let's give Matthew and Catherine and Angela and Dwayne opportunity to look over this
Okay.
and do it
Yes, sir.
totally correctly.
Yes, sir.
And so that's why I would ask we take no action this time, because it might take a little bit longer than tabling effort. So what say the court?
I'll make a motion to take no action.
Okay. All right, you got a motion from Gerald, second. Greg, you got that one.
Greg got it.
Okay. The 2 Gs. We're in good shape today. All right. Motion from Gerald, second from Greg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 4 from Ms. Soliday. Over in permits and inspections, discuss, consider the Tarkington Trails submitted plat for potential approval. Attached in the packet for your review is the LJ Engineering letter of their project review and approval with comments for the final plat consideration. So, Melinda, it's pretty well self-explanatory, but then again, I'm sure there's
Yes, sir.
something else we need to touch on.
Well, this is in precinct 4 off County Road 3011 and 3011A. As y'all are aware, at one time, this was an illegal subdivision because they were already platting and selling the lots without registering, doing anything with the county. At this time, their preliminary plat has been approved by LJA, but the drainage, they're still working on the drainage plan with them. As you see on this paper, that they have a lot of skills they're looking for on their final plat when it's submitted.
So your recommendation?
Okay.
I'm not for it only because the drainage isn't finished yet.
Right.
So,
Can I clarify, is it a preliminary plat or a final plat?
Preliminary with notes for the final.
so there's some language in here and it says due to existing deficiencies in roadside ditch conveyance and the lack of positive drainage within the adjacent ditch system, frontage ditch improvements, culvert upgrades, and ditch regrading may be required as part of the final plan plat and/or construction plan review. So if you would, Brian, could you explain exactly what that paragraph means?
So Brian Greathouse, LJA Engineering. Yeah, so we received their initial request for preliminary plat. And again, it's conceptual.
Right.
And at that, it's conceptual at that point. So you don't have to provide all the information needed for final plat approval. So based on what they provided us, we agreed to accept the preliminary plat. Now, but we wanted to make sure that it's a very flat area, that they provided enough storage in their ditches to store any additional runoff, which they had, because it's extremely flat and it doesn't grade very well. I can say, after we submitted that letter to now, they have provided that information, but it was after we did preliminary approval. So we just recently received their package of no impact for their final plat, which we agreed with. But from the initial standpoint, we had to request more information before we could approve that plat.
So I'd like to bring up some things that have been occurring in this area. So one of the homeowners, if y'all recall, we were asked to do a variance because they had not sought the minor plat that we rejected. And so now they're going through the platting process. And there were 3 homes that were sold out, literally sold off the side of the road to folks.
Well, the guy was in a pickup truck with a sign.
And okay, so
Yeah.
make sure we know what we're dealing with here. And anyway, one of the 3, they had, it took months for you guys to finally, the court had to take an action so that you would issue a permit for the these modular homes and
With Matthew's approval, we
and
did that.
septic. So, we went through those processes and then we stopped until they started this process again. I know I can't show that to you in court, but I've got pictures taken this very morning. That property's underwater. Those ditches don't flow, and
There's fish living in the
there,
ditches. Literally.
once we get the LJA hydrology study done,
Impact study.
when that impact study's done and we start looking at projects, we're talking about one that's going to be in the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to drain the Carter Loop area. It's the drainage is poor at best. It simply does not drain. So this road fronts 3011 and 3011A. And 3011A, the first time I saw it last year, when I got this job, that road's underwater. There was one house on the other side, and they literally had a culvert, and then they had their house, and it was a hip boot. This is not on that property, but it's just across the street. So that was my first impressions, and there was a sign up with these lots, and I took a picture of it, and you can see all the water. When we went out there today, you can't see all the water because it's so grown up. But nevertheless, you see a fair amount of water. I'll be willing to share with anybody that wants to look at that later on. But
Corps of Engineers for Tarkman Bio and Lucy's Bio, because all of that water goes there. Once that backs up, there it is.
Not much to do with it. And that's why we're, from an impact standpoint, we're asking them to create capacity. Drain to the ditch, and we want to see that they've created more capacity in the ditch.
So one of the 3 homeowners wanted a statement from me regarding that I told him I could not do that. It was, this is a buyer beware situation. There's actually a sign. We took a picture of a sign that says this property stays flooded, that we took on this. Somebody has put up on a post out there. I don't know how this situation will ever get any better, and I don't know the legalities of it, but I don't see how we can continue to go forward with this particular piece of property and allowing people to be sold. Hoping we get a drought later on this summer, and the property. It's a beautiful piece of property when in a drought situation. But we're not in a drought now.
Well, if I could This is a preliminary plat situation, correct? So the most important question for today's purpose is, have they submitted an administratively complete application at this point?
For preliminary.
For preliminary.
Not a final.
Not a
Not
fi-
a. Still have to review the drainage.
And so the court really doesn't have any other option other than to accept it. That's not saying that you approve the final plat.
Okay.
It just means that they have submitted a full application, and now it begins the review for the final. That's all.
And I thought that it was going to pass legal muster, when I brought this up, but I wanted everyone to know that this is not a good situation. And we've been dealing with this now for over a year, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. And so, although I feel like we're obligated at times and we have to make decisions that, that protect the county from a legal issue, certainly one that everyone needs to be aware that this is not a great situation.
Just to clarify, can they accept it without approving it?
Well, the law is written such that once they've submitted everything and their application is complete, then that starts the clock, honestly, regardless of commissioner's court action. And so, I mean, there's really no other choice other than to say, to acknowledge that we've received that at this point.
Well, if they vote to accept it, then they're not
Well,
stating that
the wording
No,
is
this is
discuss
for
and
preliminary.
consider,
Yeah,
not approve, just consider.
so they could.
So you can accept, you have to accept a complete application, even if in its ultimate review, it doesn't meet the standards and you have to deny it, so.
They have a long ways to go to on approving the finals.
Yeah.
Based on what you're talking about. But they met preliminary.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So, yeah, then it'll be on them to prove that this has zero impact on drainage. That they're not going to cause any greater outflow than what they're receiving.
I do believe we have to follow the law.
That is absolutely correct.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Is that your motion?
No, sir. No, sir, it's not my motion. That was just a comment.
Okay, in that case, then at this time, what say the court? Since it's been explained how we have to go about this. Do I have a motion?
I'll have to make a motion to consider Tarkington's submittal of the plat, preliminary plat.
Yeah, that's what I think the best framing of this is to accept the application as a preliminary application for review.
So you want to move to accept, Bruce?
Yeah, move to accept.
Okay.
Okay, got a motion. Bruce, do I hear a second? Second from David. Is there any further discussion?
I will vote to follow the law.
Glad to hear that, Gerald. Good old Bronco like you. Yeah, buddy. All right, call for vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Likewise, nays. Motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. And Matthew, thanks for clarifying that for us.
Absolutely.
It can be meticulous and it can be confusing, and the public is listening. And yet, I'll guarantee you that 8 out of 10 still will not understand what we just did.
Yeah.
You know it is to read.
It is difficult, yeah.
Yeah, to follow the law. Okay. And we're compelled to follow the law. If you don't believe me, just ask Matthew. Okay. Item number 5 from Ms. Soliday, consider and approve the 3,023 acre Liberty Grand Drainage Impact Study. Attached in the packet for your review is the LJA engineering letter of no objection to the drainage impact study as submitted. This is for future developments located in precinct 4 off of Highway 99. There's a map of the location attached in the packet. And I'll say this, we started looking at this probably 8 years ago, I believe. And the folks were nice enough to come in, sit down with us, discuss the project and the location. And they told us that we're not in any hurry at that time. And so here we are about 8 years later, they're back and we have something to look at. So Melinda, kind of explain a little bit, if you would. This is still pretty self-explanatory, but yet.
It is. It's, I had brought this before you in the previous, and I didn't have enough information to get it through to y'all. So now I've requested a map from them from the area. And like I said, this is just a drainage impact analysis. They have not sold property, anything like that. It's for future development. They just wanted to get the drainage impact analysis taken care of.
Okay.
So that's a vast expanse of old farmland on United State.
Right.
The Grand Parkway that you see before you go into Harris County. So,
large acreage.
So
We do.
Brad Elmore is here.
Yeah, Brad, we do have one of the representatives here. If you'd like to come up and address the court, please do.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me your name again.
It's Brad Elmore.
Elmore,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
with?
ELMORE.
Okay. And who are you with?
I'm with Newfound Partners. Liberty Grant Partners is the entity that owns the property.
Newfound?
Yes, ma'am.
And as we discussed many years back, there's like two pieces. There's one on the west side of 99, one on the east side of 99. And you're specifically looking at the west side of 99 right now, which would be closer to Harris County. Well, they're contiguous anyway, but.
Yes, sir. We're really looking at, on the drainage side of things, the whole property. The first phase of development would be on the west side of 99. And actually, we acquired this property in 2018, but started studying it in 2017 prior to the highway coming through. Our engineers were the engineer of record for Grand Parkway. So they've been studying the drainage on this property for well over a decade. We bought this from the Stoser family, who started assembling this property going back into the 1920s. And it's actually farmed by who I consider a good personal friend now, Mark Stoser, who grew up on this farm. And he's been a tremendous resource in just really understanding how the water really flows across this beyond the edges of our farm. He knows everything in that Eastgate area. So, like you said, I've been working on this for about 9 years now, and it's an exciting milestone to really be able to solidify this drainage plan so that we can start spending more money on the design of the actual improvements, the roads, the detention ponds, and everything in true detail. Now that we know how the water is going to flow on paper, and it'll be another 20 years before I'm finished, building this thing out. But excited to be here today.
Mighty fine.
Brad, would you mind explaining to the court the hurdles that you've cleared so far on this drainage impact study, and the engineering firms that have been involved, along with the drainage district number 1 that where this property resides in?
Yes, sir. Thanks. As I mentioned, we have BGE as our engineer of record, who's been working on it since before we actually even got involved via the Grand Parkway. They created the drainage study that Melinda's office has reviewed in conjunction with LJA, and took about a year of really just number crunching, design, back and forth. I think we turned this study probably 6 times with the LJA office, so there's a lot of review there. Between those two engineering firms, now we are simultaneously going through the same process with Liberty County WCID1, who has another engineering company, Freese and Nichols, that's also reviewing everything we've done. So we've got belt suspenders, bubble gum. In addition to those guys, we have a partner who specializes in the lot development side of things. It's Lane Tejas, in conjunction with another metro development group who's hired Quiddity Engineering, and they're reviewing everything as well. So we've got 4 really smart groups of engineers that have gone through all of this paperwork, calculations, and been working, frankly, on it for years to really make sure that we're going above and beyond just the letter of the law as written. We were fortunate enough that when we started the drainage process, really having the engineers spend money and time on it back in, it was about 2020. And I was also, sorry, I'll back up. I was fortunate enough, I was working on this project in 2017 before the road came in. So when Harvey blew through, I drove my truck up there and saw the water on the ground. And it was a lot, same as anywhere in the Houston region. But it was kind of a gut check moment on whether we wanted to own it or not. And so the engineer said, yeah, this is a lot. This is something you hope that's a 500,000 year type storm event. But it was very fortunate to have that in the process. So when we started designing the drainage for this project, we did it to what's called an Atlas 14 measurement long before people were talking about it in most of the suburban areas of Houston. Really, it's an abundance of caution and just to make sure that as the Liberty County regulation and the engineering code is written, it's a 17.9 inch rainfall event over 24 hours, which really coincides with what Harvey was more or less over a 3-day period. We would, on the study, it reduces the flow into Cedar Bayou. That's where this property drains. So we really wanted it to be a net improvement to the regional drainage once this thing is built, because it's just so critical for the overall success of the development.
Okay. All right, y'all anybody have any more questions or concerns?
I don't. I'm prepared to make a motion. I make a motion that we approve the 3,023 acre Liberty Grand drainage impact study. Second.
Got a motion from Gerald, a second from David to approve as stated. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Brad, thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Thank
All righty. Item number 6 from Ms. Soliday, consider and approve the payment request for LJ invoice number 202616046 for the City of Hardin using ARPA funding. I'm going to say it again, ARPA funding in the amount of $132.23 dated 4/10/26. LJ invoices with signatures are attached in the packet.
Is this
Belinda,
it?
it's pretty self-explanatory, but yet.
Got one more?
No, not today. I do have one more. I'm just waiting for a signature to bring it to Commissioner's Court. And it will be the final one.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion from Bruce, second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 7 from Ms. Soliday, consider and approve Tarkington Pines variance request for proposed wet bottom detention. Attached in the packet for review is the letter of request from Spear Point Engineering LLC. Okay, wet bottom detention, it just means it's going to stay wet.
They use it for attractions. They put sidewalks around it. People walk their dogs, they jog. It gives it aesthetics.
So this is not a pump detention.
No, this is just a wet bottom, yes, sir.
So this is the one that we're looking at is one of the changes to our standard, because
Yes.
we always have to grant the variance because it calls for the concrete slope bottom.
Right.
This is one that you could do that and it'll just say submerged and
Correct.
won't do its intended purpose.
Right.
It's
It'll
something that
never
we're
dry
looking
out,
at
yes.
replacing.
I don't know if there are plans for mosquito management on this or anything like that.
That I can't tell you. I know when they do it amenities, it's because they're going to plant trees all around it and stuff like that for walkways and stuff. And trying to get people to use it as you know, walking your dogs, a jogging trail type thing.
Gotcha. There will be a
Yeah.
POA?
I'm sorry.
Will there be a POA, do you know?
That I don't know. I haven't come to that part.
Okay. Good question. That's pterodactyl management, I believe, in Liberty County. Yeah. There's some big ones out there.
Yes.
Okay.
And
All right.
LJA has already looked over this,
Yes.
and their recommendation was?
This is the one that LJ had to sub for a
Okay.
different
Yeah.
contractor. Because their portion, their development side is bringing this forward.
Well, until we change our rules and regulations to allow these, we had a hearing over at the Hartel building on these. My main objections at that time was pump detentions and the history of those, who was going to maintain them and stuff like that. Also, we have been used these in the past with the fire marshal as potential pump areas for fire suppressant. So, yes, sir. So,
And
with
so far, we haven't had any objections to putting
Yeah.
the hydrants in for you. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think.
don't know that I saw this one there, I'm able to make a comment to them about adding it, right? This particular project.
That would come with a development agreement
Yeah.
later on in the
Yeah.
process
Correct.
when we look at this. So, yeah,
So I'm going to have to make a motion to approve this variance.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion from Bruce, second from Cheryl, to approve as stated. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Linda, don't sit down yet. We've got a few more with you. Okay, all right. Item number eight is consider and approve River Ranch Development's request to install all-way stop signage at the intersection of River Ranch Boulevard and Meadows Trail. Attached to the packet for your view is the multi-way stop control warrant analysis.
If you remember, it was either the last meeting or the meeting before last, we had an individual who lives in that subdivision
Mhm.
asking for our help to get something taken care of, and then I received all this information. It looks like there's a playground and all that stuff over
There
there,
is.
and it's a major
Yeah.
intersection. That's why they are going to they want your permission to put this all-way stop, so everybody will be having to stop.
I've been out there, I've looked at it.
It's any little bus stop, kids bus stop there
Yes,
too.
yeah, I definitely agree, and I will make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from David to approve. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 9 from Ms. Holiday, consider and approve estimate payment number 11, final for King Solutions Services LLC in the amount of $175,221.40 for the ARPA funded, I'll say it again, ARPA funded City of Hardin Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation. Enclosed with this is change order number 2 with a $0 certificate of contractor and a warranty letter from King Solutions. So
This is their final invoice to us on the Hardin project.
Like a motion to approve.
got a motion from David to approve.
Second.
Second from Greg. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 810 from Ms. Holiday. Consider and approve the proposed changes to the fee and/or use schedule. The Liberty County Permit Inspections Department. Melinda, is there anything you want to add to this?
I brought this to court on the last meeting, and I was asked to bring the fee schedule as it is now and what I presented. There's only one change, and it's the last item on the first page on the requested.
And what does that pertain to?
It's anybody that builds without a permit in Liberty County. If they build without a permit, if they put a septic in without a permit, the fee will double.
Okay.
I have to put some kind of, we were having a lot of issues with people, well, I didn't know I needed a permit. because they're getting sold these properties. And the people that are selling them are telling, oh, it's unrestricted, you can do whatever you want. Well, in the floodplain, it causes a very big issue, because if they're putting concrete slabs down in the floodway, that's gonna completely change the way the water flows when we flood. Because it's not if, it's when our next event's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because we've been here long enough, we know we flood.
This is kind of the initial shot at trying to put some teeth into our
Yes, absolutely.
our permitting process, engineering processes, and so we need to like advertise this because I think it should help to reduce
It
that.
should, yes, sir. I'm thinking once one person gets fined, I mean, not fined, one person has to pay the double, then the word's gonna get out. It's been a concern. I've been here 8 years, and it's been a concern since day one when I was just doing inspections.
Mhm.
My inspectors can go out and they can write a red tag every day, and 9 times out of 10, they're just gonna rip them up in my inspector's face and throw them.
So the worst thing would happen is that eventually, after we go through all this endless rework,
Right.
They pay the fee.
Right.
And so this is just the first shot at trying to get some enforcement of our rules and regulations.
What are we doing to enlighten or educate the public of our permitting procedures as far as publications in the papers and stuff
I
like
would
that?
have to put an ad in the
Do
paper.
do
but
we
other than that,
regularly do this, or
We haven't
with
made
the
any
way
changes.
Liberty County is growing in our community? I mean, some people come in and
I mean, everything's on our website. I have all the list of the fees. I have list of everything they have to do. We now have an online, they can apply for their permits online through our OpenGov system. A lot of people really like it. The developers really like it because they can make one account, and each section, each development that they're doing is a different.
well, the mindset of a lot of individuals coming in is, I'm out in the country, I can do whatever I want.
Exactly.
And
And
they're
that
not
happens
saying,
every day. Melinda,
because
what
they're,
if we do a flyer in my office when they bring in their deeds and stuff?
That would be awesome.
yes,
They could
something
pick
like
up that would
that.
have, information and warnings and how to
Yes, ma'am.
access your webpage and information like
Absolutely, that would
that.
be awesome.
I'm in favor of this, but I still think that we ought to do more to enlighten the public.
That's a good point,
Of the
because
deals.
people, they don't know what they don't know.
No.
Exactly.
And so, to the extent that we can advertise, I think it's a great idea. And Lee, yours is absolutely, because they've got to see you
Yeah,
anyway.
absolutely.
Yeah, when
There
they
needs to
buy
be
it,
some
they're
way to
coming to my
inform them
office
they're in the
first.
floodway or the floodplain, because they may not even be able to get a permit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, we encounter culverts that have been installed without permits all the
All the
time.
time, yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve this change in fees.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from Greg. With some healthy discussion.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
gentlemen. I'll get to working on the advertising.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And teamwork works. So if Lee can put a big banner up there, we'll go for it.
Oh,
English
okay,
and
great.
Spanish,
All right,
by the way.
awesome.
You bet.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Denise's kind of on our flyers.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Item number 811 from Commissioner Whitmire, consider and approve the upfront payment for CDL class training through CDL Future Trucking Academy, LLC in Crosby, Texas for Louis Silverio. The total amount is $3,500, must be paid up front. There it is. It's plain, simple English.
It's about the only way that we get our employees trained. The fee goes from $3,000 to $5,000 to have this, and we had made Matthew drew up some papers that if the county pays this, the employee has to stay around for 2 years, so that we're not paying for their education and their
To leave.
CDLs, and then they turn around and leave. So make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion for Bruce. Second from David. Matthew, do you have any further discussion?
No, I was just going to say that I based the contract on the one we drew up years ago for the sheriff's office.
Yes, sir.
It's, I think it works. It accomplishes a good
2
public.
years.
2 years, yeah.
So-
Yeah. I think my draft originally said one.
Yeah.
But as long as you've changed it whenever you execute it, to two, yeah, then we're good.
Okay.
So, hey, just one question though. So if an employee wishes to terminate, and they haven't paid this money, how do we get to withhold their final payments and all these things that we approve on the consent agenda, for accumulated time and vacation and all that? Is that our own, that's our bargaining chip?
That's our bargaining chip. That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have the legal right now to do that.
Got it.
Hopefully we don't ever have to.
No.
Yeah.
go through
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But it's still a win-win. Yeah. Okay.
But you just lost your money. The question was whether if he had to terminate the employee to that. Well, that's basically, he just forfeited the money. So.
All right. Well, I got a motion from Bruce, second from David to approve.
Good point.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Move over to item 812 from Mr. Poston. Note, consider and approve interlocal agreement between Liberty County, Texas and Jack County, Texas for the housing and care of Liberty County inmates. Where in the world is Jack County somebody?
Judge, I'm glad you asked that question.
I'm glad.
That is on the west fork of the Trinity River. Judge, I'm glad you asked that question. That is on the west fork of the Trinity River. We could use a riverboat or steamboat if we go up the Trinity River, jump the dam at Livingston, go up Livingston, keep it up in north central Texas. The county seat is Jacksboro, and they have two cities in that. There's several cities, but two of them of interest are Bryson and Antelope. And the chief said he would like to check out the town of Antelope to see if there's anything to shoot.
Sure you would.
But that's where Jack County is, sir.
All righty. Well, with that good news, what say the court? Motion from Greg, second from Gerald to approve Jack County. And we can all say that we now know Jack. Okay. Okay, call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 13 and 14, I'd like to hold those and we'll move into executive session prior. So let's ease past those two, please. We'll go down to item number 815 from me. Consider and approve Dr. Jesse Adam as Liberty County Local State Health Authority. Dr. Callan stepped down from this position and recommended Dr. Adam, and Dr. Adam has agreed to accept this position. And I will say this with great thanks to Dr. Callans for holding this position for so many years. Believe it or not, whenever there's a crisis, he will be there. So Dr. Adam has agreed to accept this position.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
it's Dr. Adami.
Adami?
Adami.
Well, it's East Texas. I'm going to say it, Adam.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Adami. All righty.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce. Second from David to approve. Is there any further discussion?
I'm curious, where does Dr. Adami practice? I don't know. Does anybody know? Here in Liberty? Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 816, Commissioner Karbowski, consider and approve turning over the maintenance of Liberty County Jail and the Sheriff's Office to the Liberty County Sheriff. Bruce, you have anything you want to add
What
to
this
it?
is I've got 29 buildings that I have 3 maintenance men, including the supervisor that maintains the sheriff's department over there. And I'm not talking about both annexes because we will continue to clean and maintenance both of those. But the sheriff's department itself, since we are fixing to build a new jail over in that area, the jail maintenance, you have 3 people, Judge? Sheriff? 3 people over there that, with that one building and with the county now spending $6 million in redoing the old jail, I don't see a big problem Also, there's a problem with security. None of my personnel has background checks or is able to really, I would think, to be safely around secured information over there at the Sheriff's Department. So their maintenance people are T-code certified and able to go into secured areas where most maintenance needs to be done. I just think that it'll be best for our maintenance department, because if not, I'm fixing to have to do a lot of change and then a lot of money being spent on this budget.
Sheriff?
You're gonna have to spend money one way or another, Commissioner, because we're gonna have to hire somebody. We're gonna need a budget for I'm opposed to it, but if you did, we'd have to hire somebody. We can run the background checks for the people to get them in a whole lot cheaper than we can have a maintenance budget.
Are you saying that 3 people at that jail over there, that you need all 3 of these 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Yes, sir. And
When I have 3 people over here at maintenance that are maintaining 29 buildings in Liberty County, 3 people, and
you know, I report every commissioner's court what my maintenance people are doing, and they're working. You're welcome to go by there and check them out. If you want to take them under your wing, you can take them under your wing too. But I'm not talking about the lady that is Renee that does the cleaning. We take her in a minute. As far as maintenance, you know, I think since you have all the billings, I don't want to be excluded out of it. You're the expert.
I do believe that eventually we will have to add on to your maintenance department, but I believe at this budget period that with the money that we're spending over there and the contractors that are already over there working, I don't see a big problem. And you're talking about a 3-year-old building. Your sheriff's department's a brand new building.
And as you know, we've had a lot of problems, and I mean, there's problems that haven't been addressed because I understand there's not money in the budget to address some of it, but we'd have to put money in the budget to address the problems that we have. If we're going to take a maintenance deal, I want the sufficient money in the account to do the maintenance work.
Well, I understand your point, Sheriff. You should be able to also understand mine. That
I do understand yours. Yes, sir.
And this is going to be one of the toughest budgets that we have faced in many years.
Oh, I agree.
You know, spending $11,300 a day in inmates, plus fixing to have a almost $8 million note on a jail that's probably going to be 2 years down the road. Yes, we are on a very tight budget, and this is part of the process for me to try to streamline and get things down without having to add more personnel to it.
Well, how about if somebody tables this and we get together and discuss this so we get on the same page?
I think that's probably a good idea. If you had, the 3 maintenance people that you have, would you put them under they just be assigned, so they're already T-code certified? And that way you'll have 6 people.
So, hey, when I was at the Commissioner's Court training last year, one of the things that was said in one of the jails, and I can't recall where it was, is that they had jailers who were trained craftsmen as well, so that they could alternate if they had a bigger job, and so I recall that session on how you get to leverage bodies.
We do. You talk about inmates?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Not inmates. I'm talking about jailers.
Yes, but our jailers, we do have jailers that can do that too, but we also can use inmates that help us out at the jail. But they got to be supervised, like Commissioner Arthur was saying. They're T-code certified. You got to have somebody that's T-code certified to work an inmate.
Yep.
And I also know that a lot of times y'all some of our inmates are qualified AC and heating people that could assist under the supervision of, I mean, you have more resources available to you to take care of the sheriff's department, since you can easily move them over there, than what I do as here in the maintenance
Commissioner, we'll
department.
loan those experienced people to you to help you out all you want, sir. But I appreciate the table because I was not prepared to do a debate on anything. I'd rather talk with you in person and let's work it out.
Sounds good.
Greg, is that a motion to table?
Yes, that's it.
But I do think this brings us to the point of how critical maintenance is and how if we can get some software to do work orders and everything that aligns us with federal grants and such in the future. And also, when we get this new jail, which is going to be the biggest expenditure, I'm guessing, ever in the county, so we're going to have a preventive maintenance program. And again, you can't do that just by writing slips down and expecting people to remember when it's time to do this and that. I think we may be getting into some of that at the new sheriff's office is why some of these things are failing, because we're not doing PMs on certain things with like filter changes and all. It's a lot. So anything to do with creating new positions, I think is really difficult right now. God bless you, Bruce, for what you do. But I will tell the sheriff he doesn't do the maintenance at the precincts.
Yeah.
So you would not be alone.
Yeah, we have to clean our own offices.
My motion was to table, but this is not something we need to postpone. We need to get on this on a form of a workshop or something to work out this, because it's something that needs to be addressed.
And it's directly tied to our budget too. So
It
we've
is.
got to. It has to be addressed.
It's not something we can put off.
I have a motion from Greg. I believe I had a second from David to table. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 17 from Commissioner Korbowski. Consider and approve the creation of elections administrator position in the new fiscal year. I'm going to go back in time a little bit. We talked about this about 2 months ago. And at that time, it was basically the question for the court. And do you want to do this? Do we need to do this? What's it going to cost? And I'm going to lay this out there real plain English for everybody. We spend about $3.5 million a year on housing inmates out of county. That hurts. We're going to spend probably about $7 million a year on the debt service for the new jail. So, okay, so we're at 10.5, almost $11 million right there before we even push the go button. And we know we've got that. And by golly, the way it's written, debt service comes out first. We're going to pay that no matter what. So at that point, we're talking about what will we be able to do this year? Not a lot. I can tell you that right now. Raises? Nope. I hate to say that. Adding more people? Nope. I really can't say that unless it's just a Benjamin Franklin flying a kite in the storm and hoping lightning doesn't strike. You know, what do you do at that point in time? We have to be very, very careful at this point in time. And we're still waiting to see what our revenue stream is going to be. You know, that computations, of course, when we get our certified tax roll, we'll get that. Then we'll go back and review that and then get our computations from the comptroller. And then Ricky Brown will bring those to us and show us where we're laying as far as no new revenue rate, voter approval rate, which back in the old days was effective rate and rollback rate. Just smoke and mirrors, guys. I can't say it any nicer. That's what the legislature does to us a lot of times. So we have to be very cautious at this point. What will our revenues be? And at the same token, to consider the public saying, you better not spend above the no new revenue rate or else. And the legislature is also hawking that idea that maybe in the next legislative session, in order for us to go beyond the no new revenue rate, that will have to be put before the public for a vote instead of just the rollback rate, or what we call the voter approval rate. There's a lot of things that are in the works right now. We have to look at it. The last thing I want to say is that we'd have to have a RIF or some kind of weird thing like that for the county. We're holding our own right now. We're doing quite well, but we got to be careful. And that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Will you consider anything, consider approve the creation of elections administrator position in the new fiscal year? That's commissioner's decision. What do you want to do?
The reason I put this on there was because it was tabled because of verbiage, and the last time it was put on there by you, Judge.
Yep.
That way we could either deny it or approve it before our budgeting period come in. It's just basically it was on here for open discussion instead of in executive session as we had it before.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's certainly a subject that's gained a lot of traction and a lot of support for the county to go in this way. But I know, and I didn't list them out, but when we went through our budget workshops, we're either at like 5 or 6 additional or more, could be more than that, positions that have been requested by department heads. And so when you look at that, this is going on the list. And so, my position is that you rate and rank all these positions, you find out what that cost benefit is to the county, and then we'll make a decision based on which of these positions rates out the highest for us in terms of going forward to an overall benefit to the county and obviously the cost. So I think that's again another one for the budget workshop.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, this will cost more money.
Well, we anticipate that.
Yeah.
But that's why it's here now.
Right now, there's a lot of expenses related to elections that I cover.
Yeah.
And I mean a lot. And the problem is we've got mandates coming from the legislature that we're going to have to do, whether it's in my department or in EA, we're going to have to do it. I'm begging my way for HAVA grants and everything else right now. I mean, it's real. But if you want to put a new person, a NEO in there and let them handle all of this on their own, I don't recommend it. We're at a critical time in our election process. I'd leave it alone.
Okay.
Not that I enjoy spending every weekend up here. I don't. But, we're saving money when I do. And my office is covering a lot of necessity that office needs. And if you remove it, they won't have that anymore.
Well, my point is, in 2015, when Greg and Leon and I first got here, our bond rating was in the tank. Okay. And boy, I'll tell you what, we worked our tails off to get it up to where it is now, which is pretty darn good, y'all. I mean, I'm very proud of what our rating is with Standard & Poor's this time. I'm not going to let that falter because it's our job. And working with Angela and Dwayne over in the auditor's office and with Kim in the treasurer's office, we've been able to keep it up. And that being said, we have to be very careful about how we spend money. And live within your means by all means. As my dad would say, can you make it a little less? Okay, I hear you, Dad. I hear you. Okay. So again, consider and approve creation of elections administrator position in the new fiscal year. Guys, it's up to you. You do what you want to do. But I just laid it out there for you, and it's the truth of what we're looking at. And I want to make sure that we can cover our obligations. So, what say the court?
I'll make the motion to table the item.
No, don't table it.
Don't
No.
table it. It's already been tabled.
Take no action.
That's why I put it on there.
To take no action or deny?
I would deny it.
I mean,
You're going to deny it.
So again, though, if we feel, and I don't think Commissioner Grabowski would not have put that on there if he didn't feel strongly about it. And I don't think it would have gone on there previously if the judge hadn't felt strongly about it. But I think it needs to be added to the budget request for new positions for the county for us to evaluate affordability at this point.
Yeah, I think it's something that, everything we do costs money. Some things cost a little more money, but we also got to evaluate which is the most efficient, what we do.
Yes.
That we really need to get the best service for. We've cost has got to be one of the considerations, but the service we provide has got to be considered too.
Well, so what was that? A table, take no
You
action?
made a motion to deny the creation of the elections administration.
Was that what you're-
It's not a motion to deny the creation of that position. It's that I don't think we're prepared nor able from a financial standpoint to vote on this position at this moment. So whatever Matthew or Catherine tell us what we should do, I'll make a motion accordingly.
I guess I hear a little ambiguity there. Are you wanting to examine this from the financial impact of this?
Yes, in the
Okay.
budget.
Then you would probably want to table that. If you are of the position that we just can't afford this right now, and maybe we consider it future years, and I would just deny it outright.
No, I think it's there's a lot of folks who feel pretty strongly about this. So I think we ought to evaluate it in the budget process.
I will say you would still have to have a formal vote like today.
Sure.
To create it. After that. So I just want to put that in y'all's minds that
I want to add to this because this isn't a trivial thing. When you have that vote, we have to put it in the Texas Register. We have to send it to the comptroller. We have to send it to the Secretary of State and let them know that we're starting this process. There are legal steps you have to take to get here. And even once you create it, it has to sit for 3 months before it can actually go into effect. We did this once before. It's a very arduous process, and I'm guaranteeing you it's going to cost a lot of money. But it's something that wouldn't even go into effect until sometime next year, because even if you created it in October, it has to take. We can't even start interviewing until after it's created, and then the person has to be in place for a certain period of time. So I think last time we swore them in sometime in January after we created it in October. I mean, it's not a let's hire this person and go do it. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And moving all of the facilities and the equipment over from the existing locations to where it's got to go, and the people and the personnel and the training, and you're doing it at a very critical changing time in elections. I honest to God do not recommend it. And I don't want all this extra work. I don't. It kills me.
And these are the things we need to evaluate.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Right.
It may be that it's not worth messing with, but it's something that needs to be looked at least, I would think.
Well, I know
everything we do needs to be evaluated.
The last time we had election administrator, and of course we voted to abolish, and you have to wait a 2-year period before you can even reapply. And we're beyond the 2-year period now. But regardless, my point is mind your money and what's it going to cost? And is it, it's probably worth it to do this, but then again, can we afford it? And if we can't afford it, we need to study and see what it's actually going to cost. And that would be input from everybody here. But yet, this is still a commissioner's court decision. Okay.
Correct. So, gentlemen, please don't misunderstand me putting it on here. I didn't put it on here because I'm all excited about creating this new position. I just want to close out and there be no issues or questions of whether we want one or not.
Okay.
So basically, yay or nay. And it doesn't make me any difference one way or another.
The question still rolls back to
yes. Are we going to table this to come back for discussion, or do we just want to take no action on it and let it die for right now? And I will go ahead and make that motion to take no action.
I'll second Bruce's motion.
Okay. We got a motion from Bruce.
I have got the sentiment of the court, so I kind of know what everybody's.
All right, got a motion from Bruce, second from Gerald, to take no action at this time. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 818 from Mr. C. Stephanie's here. Thank you. All right, you got your button pushed. Thank you much. Consider and approve the purchase of weapon accessories and duty gear in the amount of $17,549.42 from Galls LLC through Texas Smart Buy contract number 22-68001 for law enforcement. What are we buying?
We're buying lights to go on guns that we've bought previously, and we're buying some holsters for guns we've also bought previously.
All right. A motion from David.
Second.
Second from Bruce. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 19 was a duplicate, same as number 18. And there actually was some wording that we need to include. So we're gonna dodge number 19 today, and we'll repost it on the next court. Matthew, we need to have any action on this? Take no action or
table?
Or table?
No, I think you could just table.
Table?
Yeah.
Okay. What say the court?
Make a motion to table.
This is for 19?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
19.
The motion from Bruce, second from David to table. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nays. The motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 820 from Mr. C. or Stephanie. Consider and approve to reject and re-advertise request for proposals number 26-07 for asphalt overlay.
Yes, sir. We were going to advertise this and put it out, and there have been some changes that we need to make to asphalt specifications that were adopted by the court in 2023, I think. So I have the suggestions. I attached them for y'all to look at. We just need you to approve it so we can go back out for proposals for asphalt overlay.
Make a motion to approve.
David?
Okay, hang on. This is the rejection, right?
Yeah.
Approve the rejection.
He's approving the
Oh,
rejection.
sorry. I was talking ahead a little bit.
Okay, so the motion would be to reject and re-advertise, not to approve the.
Right.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm just clarifying. I'm a language girl.
So,
Okay. Gerald, yours?
Well,
No,
he's,
that was
he's,
David.
he's
Oh, David.
approving to reject and re-advertise.
Yeah, re-advertise, yes.
Yeah.
That's David, that was your motion. Correct. Okay. Who has a
I
second?
second that motion.
All right, Bruce.
Reject the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a motion from David, second from Bruce to reject and re-advertise. We good there, Lee?
Mhm.
All right. Any further discussion? Call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 821 from Stephanie. Can discuss, consider, and approve revised asphalt overlay specifications for Liberty County as were adopted on March 14th, 2023. Stephanie, you want to elaborate some?
Well, I could, or I could ask Brian with LJA. I just asked him to bless these, as I'm not an expert in this area, and he could probably explain any differences that were what we had as to what's being proposed.
Is this mainly concerning the tapered shoulders we was discussing? And
No, it doesn't include that at all. That is something we'll include as an item in the request for proposal, but that's not included in these.
Brian, you want to add anything to it? You can come on up and visit with us, please.
Yeah, can you give me a quick recap of exactly what you're asking?
It's always kind of good to get that, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
So we had, I had LJA previously help me every time I put out an asphalt overlay bid. They would just kind of review it real quickly to make sure that there were no big changes. As I'm not an expert in this field, I'm just trying to get you a vendor that provides the service. So he's looked at these for me and given us some recommendations.
Yes, for the asphalt overlay specifications.
Yep. Yep.
So, with our specifications, we were helping you guys look at, with asphalt overlays, we wanted to give the county some options, relative to do an evaluation of the roadway and then tailor that recommendation based on the roadway condition. And so when you came in to do an asphalt overlay, you didn't have to come in and basically rebuild that back to TxDOT standards, because if you did that, you would not be able to afford to do an asphalt overlay anywhere in the county. So what we're trying to do is give you options based on the condition of the road. If we see this road has decent conditions, then a much less approval, would be provided. If we do that inspection and we see significant issues with the base, drainage, and foundation, it may kick you to another level. But it gives the county the ability to evaluate the roadway and then choose its applicable repaving. And to show you the difference, if you look at the first option that we had up there, the minimal repair, you're probably looking at $190,000, $200,000 a mile. Now, if you go to the end option where you had to do everything like TxDOT standards, you're about $1 to $1.2 million a mile. So we were just trying to give the county options based on the condition of the road to perform the overlay as each precinct sees it.
Say it again, $1.2 million a mile.
So if you go to a full reconstruction of that road based on TxDOT standards,
Yeah.
we've had professionals look at this for many pavement areas, specifically Montgomery County. And if you had to go through that full reconstruction with shoulders, you're looking at about $1 million, $1.2 million a mile. If we look at that roadway and say, hey, we don't need all that, we just need to do a mile surface work here, mill and overlay, you're back at $190,000. $200,000.
Okay.
So earlier in the year, like in January, we started working with the LJA to resurface County Road 602 and see how much we can do with some of the funds that we have available. When he hit me with that figure, I told him we want one that we don't have to do anything to for many, for 20 years. But that's when this dollar figure came up. So we started that process. We looked at the soil conditions out there. And so there is that range from it just depends on where you are. You can go from 200,000 to 1.2. And so this is certainly, and I was looking specifically for one contract for somebody to come in and do that one section of road. But we needed another part of the county. I think David utilizes this contract. It expired. So Stephanie, tagged in on this. And so, this is going to give us more options on how to do county maintenance and get a good product.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to advertise for each road project specifically, and instead of doing that, we have an at-ready contract now that is like a term contract each year, so that whenever y'all are ready to go, you have multiple options now, as we did not have before. We'll have multiple options based on what you need for each of your roads, not just, I think we had maybe a standard 1 or 2 options, and this is just going to allow us to have a little bit more.
The city of Dayton did something similar when they got their grant money to redo the streets, and so there were options, and they were able to get some roads done last year for about $400,000 a mile. So,
but then again, you're talking about the word grant. When we're having to use our own budget. I know on my roads, I go and evaluate the subgrade, and most of the time I'll bow mag 4 to 6 inches and add either GS 100 or limestone, recompact my base and get everything ready. And then I call for my asphalt overlay and do it that way without having to pay LJA to come in, because now we're on top of it. We're going to have to take out of our road budget the fee for LJA to come out and inspect that one road. So
that is something that we can work through.
Somebody's
through
going to
our
have to pay it.
contract that we put in place.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
you can be involved in helping me make sure that it reads what you believe it needs and the way it needs to read it. I have this information.
But I'm all for it. I mean, definitely.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out that this is an extra service, and somebody in this county is going to have to pay for it. So, it's in the long run.
And I don't know if this is the place or from the topic, but we are, with others in other counties, trying to get your roadway specifications and inspections up to par. And during that process, and our goal was to hopefully, you put that angst on the contractor, and then to provide all those inspection reports, and then the county can use their people to improve those inspection reports. And so you minimize what you have, you're putting a lot of the cost on the contractor.
V&V.
And you're taking, and we're trying to eliminate what you need us for.
Right.
So hopefully the contractor providing the inspections, the county can approve it, and then we're not, we're just at that point.
Yeah.
We're not really.
Again, I think, we're separating new road development, which is in our standards, and it's pretty much a TxDOT standard that, and the way we repair roads in the county, it gives us a little bit more leeway in getting a better value.
What this is going to do is this is going to prevent someone from coming in and just spending a lot of money throwing a bunch of asphalt on top of a road that will not support it and wouldn't last a year with it on. So,
And to be clear, so everyone is aware, LJ is not the vendor that would submit proposals for this work. This was something that was previously awarded to Vulcan Construction Materials, and they have since been bought out. So we let their contract expire, and that is why we were going back out for proposals, so that the new company and other companies may solicit their fees and proposals.
Well, let's circle back around to the question that's discuss and consider and approve revised asphalt overlay specifications. It sounds like that's what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay, so therefore, is there a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion to approve the revised asphalt overlay specifications.
I'll second.
Motion from Bruce, second from Gerald.
Thank you, Jay.
Mm-hmm. We good. Bruce, second from Gerald. We got it right. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion miraculously passes. Okay, all right. Item number 822 from Mr. Poston, consider and accept Melinda Solday's notice of resignation effective June 30th, 2026. Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
I do want to clarify, this is not a resignation. I mean, they both mean the same thing, but this is retirement.
Retirement, yeah.
I've already let Melinda know how much I appreciate her and all the work she's done and partnering with.
I do. I knew that the party was going to end after about 8 years, and you've been here 8 now, and I mean, you've got your family here and your interest. That it's time to go enjoy that, and I hate to lose you. I do, because you've been. Whenever you and David, first came here, it was like, boy, this is some uncharted waters, guys, and y'all really stepped up. And of course, when David retired, and now that you're right there on the cusp of it, y'all really done some great work, and you especially, and we sure appreciate it too.
We appreciate it.
So, what say the court?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second. Motion for Gerald. Is that a motion to reluctantly accept?
Yeah.
Motion for Gerald, second from Greg. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. And motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 23, I would like to move that to executive session as well. So if we can, let's jump past it. To item number 824 from Mr. Poston, consider and request interview committee to seek out, select, and recommend to Commissioners Court a qualified candidate for appointment as the administrator over the Permits and Inspections Department The candidate should be, I love this, should be a licensed professional engineer with experience and training necessary for the position. Matthew?
So this is step 3 in this 3-step process. First, we have to accept her retirement. Then we need to figure out what we're going to do in the meantime. I know we're going to talk about that in executive for the interim. But then lastly, what are we going to do for the permanent position? So I think the court very wisely has created an interview committee. I'd ask that y'all send a request to the interview committee with the conditions that you are looking for the candidate. I recommend that it be a licensed professional engineer. I know that there's going to be budgetary impacts to that. It's probably going to be a much higher salary.
What's the difference between this one and the item that we approved a while back for the interview committee to go out? We had one on the agenda a while back.
Yeah.
I don't think for this position.
For veteran services.
Yeah.
No. We had one for this. Greg had put it on the agenda.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
For the interview committee to go forward with it.
There's not that much difference, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I just did not recall that. Well, then I would just ask for, if y'all already approved it, please confirm your approval again.
I have to go back and look at my notes, but.
I think we can go ahead and approve this one
Yeah.
to override the other one, because it may
This
contain language that the other one didn't, but
Yeah.
we had originally to go out and look at what it would cost and what, and what would be, what it would take to set up.
More about to set the qualifications and to do the evaluations. This is a little more specific.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it would be wise. Now, this is within y'all's discretion. It's just a recommendation to y'all. But I would very much recommend we have an engineer so that they're just a little bit from what more familiar.
There's a difference between an engineer and a PE, right?
Yes.
And so if the county, we employ a third party. In this case, we have LJA to do our design and approvals and such. If we're not doing design work, do we really need a PE?
I think that there would be a lot more familiarity with the processes. I don't think a single engineer could keep up with. I mean, I'd love to hear Brian's thoughts on this, but keep up with the volume of plat approvals.
Yeah, and I don't think we're talking about eliminating our contract.
No. I'm not
But I just think.
But there are things that come up that a PE can approve that we wouldn't have to send off.
Yeah.
Help.
Just a side comment on that.
Come on up here where you.
I think your original voting was for a county engineer,
Yeah.
not necessarily a replacement for Melinda, which I think could probably be the same person. The question on do you have to have a PE, and the answer is pretty much yes, because a non-licensed professional is not qualified to review a professional's work. So if you have to get required stamps and plans, then you have to have a licensed PE to review those plans.
Okay. All right.
But what originally we looked at was a PE overall over the whole department, but they still have somebody over permits, but the engineer would be part of the engineering department.
Okay.
So I'll make the motion to request interviews committee to seek out a licensed professional.
All right. Got a motion.
We need to
Bruce.
appoint an interview committee.
We already have an interview committee.
I think we need a different interview committee when you're looking at the engineering services and the qualifications and stuff, but whatever,
I will say the interview committee can ask for assistance from qualified individuals. It's in what Matthew wrote, who can help come up with those qualifications when we're searching, posting. the advertisements for employment.
Okay, I'll second your motion then.
Yeah. Motion from Bruce, second from Greg to get busy. The interview
Get
committee.
busy.
All right. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I don't want to be the fly in the ointment, but it appears if we interview people for a position that hasn't been created, we put the cart before the horse.
No, I don't think so. I think the position's there. You have a chief administrator over that department just requiring additional conditions for, or
Okay,
qualifications.
I was just
for
making
that.
sure because it looked a little.
No, it's an absolutely fair question.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
mind you, we realize we're going to have to add more money to it. Okay, but we
Well,
still have the
yeah.
position already there.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I think we've been putting this off too many years.
Probably about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's say the court? We got a motion from Bruce, second from Greg. We've had discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 825, Mr. Poston, consider and approve Liberty County Commissioners Court rules for decorum and procedure. Hallelujah. Okay.
So y'all should, I believe, have them in your packet.
Yes.
But I can go over in as much detail as y'all would like. If you've already reviewed the bulk of it, I'll just kind of hit some highlights, and then maybe if y'all have any questions.
I'm pretty sure we've all reviewed it, and if you just hit the highlights, it'd be great.
Yes, sir. Yeah, will do. So it reconfirms the schedule for our meetings, second and fourth Tuesdays of the month, the location of it. One important thing is it creates a process for how to request agenda items. And it creates a form to be used to request agenda items. There are 2 deadlines also for how you request agenda items. So I'll get into more detail on the form here in a second, but for the present purposes, the individuals, department heads, et cetera, can request either through individual members of the court, commissioners, or they can request it through the county judge's office. If it goes through a commissioner, I anticipate that there's going to be a little bit of delay, or we would still need time for the county judge's office to be able to process it and put it on the agenda. So I have it, and this is how I have it drafted right now. All of this is subject to your input and however the court wishes to do it. But I have it as 5 p.m. on the Tuesday before Commissioners Court for the deadline to get it to individual commissioners, and then noon the next day, Wednesday, to get it to the county judge's office. Okay. There are rules governing public participation. It kind of sets out in some detail how that works. It says that members of the public can't just speak up. They have to first be acknowledged by the county judge or the court and invited to speak. There's a form. I know we already have a form. There's an updated form. The form that's in your packet, I revised a little bit afterwards as well to include an acknowledgement that the person, will not speak profanely, abusively, etc. It does confirm or state that, of course, anybody can criticize the court or members of the, my office, whoever, members of the county government. But they just have to do it without being abusive, threatening, profane, etc. Still 3 minutes for max speaking per person. It confirms also a practice of this court, which allows the county judge to refrain from voting unless. Oh, it's on this one.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, can you not hear me?
Yeah, that one is the one
This a
you're
little better?
talking at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I keep looking that way. So yeah, it confirms a practice of the court, which is to allow the county judge to refrain from voting unless there is a tie. or unless, his vote is absolutely necessary for a quorum. Requires media to place, I think I had it in the first draft, 15 feet back. What I've done is just state that it's behind this bar, right behind council's table here. Right? And then the next major part is the form itself. So let me pull that out.
That would be assuming that every commissioners court meeting would be held in this room.
That's correct. Well, that's true. That's a fair point. If we're in a workshop or a Jack Hartel, et cetera. Yeah, so I could add, I don't know, whatever y'all think is appropriate. 20 feet.
Yeah.
That's about 20 feet.
Yeah, just not in kind of that middle space in between the chairs and the,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And then there's the form. And don't want people to be overwhelmed with it. A lot of it is won't be necessary in each individual request, but it does require whoever is making the request to give some sample agenda item language. And then also to give a little bit of background explaining what's involved. Is there a time deadline? What that deadline would be. It also has a checklist in there that asks if they've got the sign off from the auditor's office, from the purchasing agent, from my office, et cetera, before putting it on there. So I know this is a little bit more work in the form, but it also helps people think about all the things that they need to do so the commissioners can make an informed decision. That way, when y'all are here in court for each agenda item, you're seeing, a lot of the information that you need, if not all the information you need.
But this does not pertain to a commissioner himself or a member of this court.
So if you want to put something on there, I would ask that y'all fill it out too. But that's up to y'all. I think it would help your fellow commissioners.
Count on you to ask that question. I was thinking it as well, but that's okay.
You're not going to get a free pass.
Yeah, a lot of people don't actually include the language or any of the supporting materials. I'm sure I've been guilty of that. I'm not trying to condemn. Yeah, exactly. And so it would help me.
Yes.
It would help me and the county judge. It would help y'all too. So when people are coming to, and Catherine, help Catherine and pray to you. But also y'all, when people come to y'all can actually see if they got everything lined up, so that y'all can make a decision.
That's good.
This would not, it does. It pertains to the consent agenda. Normally, obviously, consent agenda items are things that are not expected to be a great deal of public interest or things that are normally approved. And so it's still for the consent agenda. For the things that would require a normal agenda item, it would require a lot more documentation than the consent agenda items. Still have to put the contract or the purchase orders and all that in with the consent agenda item stuff, but it would be a shorter version of this document.
Matthew, did you find this from other courts in the?
I did. I pulled it together. Well, so the rules themselves I pulled from Jim Allison, who's at the Texas County Judges Association. So the bulk of it, I've tweaked a few spots as I pointed out, but largely it's the same as what he had. And then I pulled the form. I kind of pulled together a bunch of different versions that I've seen out there. Larger counties, larger cities engage in processes like this. This is a part of some broader recommendations I'll be continuing to make to the court on ways that we can make the process more professional, clear, and sometime in the future, I'm going to make some recommendations for y'all's consideration to make it easier for people to find all the rules and regulations that we have, so that they don't have to go diving through minutes, which can be very laborious. So,
and we can tweak this as we find things that need
Absolutely.
change. So
absolutely, if we find out moving forward,
I don't think this has been redone since 2023. This is the Commissioners Court meeting procedures and decorum.
Yeah, so that's it contains a bunch of advice for courts. A part of that advice is to pass a series of procedure and decorum rules. So,
Can I ask about one thing?
of course,
And we're all doing it because you see me, I give you a lot of grief, but we've been recording since COVID for obvious reasons because we were using Zoom. However, there is a law that states that commissioners courts, after you reach a certain population, are required by law to record them and put them on the internet, which we're already doing. But do we want to formally make that our?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, that I think court should consider that.
We're not required by law to do workshops, so I've made that a depending on what we're doing kind of thing. If we're discussing subdivision rules, I've been recording it. If we, like the budget ones, I did not. But these meetings here and the ones where you vote are the ones that have to by law be recorded and posted for posterity. So I would like that to be our formal decision. By our last census, we're not there, but obviously by our growth, we are. So it would be good to formally adopt the requirement that we record all.
Matthew, you need to make these changes before we.
Y'all can approve with these changes, and I can bring you the document back next time for formal acceptance. Yeah. No, it's still in the same form. Yeah, it's still the same form. I've even I'll make some tweaks based on some things that we're talking about today. But I've made a fillable PDF version too to make it a little easier for people to fill out.
Do we want to consider this Zoom and this YouTube stuff we do all the time, since we're not required by law to do it? We was doing it as a general public service during COVID, and everybody was shut down.
Actually, the courts kind of required it. We are a semi-court, but they lumped us under with the other courts of letting us go through Zoom for public safety purposes. Those requirements have been dropped. We kept it going for our commissioner who was ill and needed to call in. We still use it.
So as my question is, do we want to continue it or not?
I think it comes helpful with people like, Chuck Kimbrough, the people in Austin, other people that come in.
I'd recommend it. I think a sudden switch would be seen as
suspect.
Suspect. It would look like we're hiding something when we're not.
Now, we are not live streaming anymore. We're not doing that. We were doing that for the public, so they wouldn't have to come into the courtroom to see what we were doing. Now that we're open and there's no more COVID issues, we don't restrict that. But the live streaming we don't do, but we are recording and we do have Zoom capabilities.
There are many people that watch these recordings.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, absolutely. So when
he hollers, "We're live, Judge." Are we live or are we?
No, we're not live.
Okay.
We're just recording.
We're recording. That's what he's saying. We're recording now. So everything you say is being recorded. And obviously the video as well.
Right.
I could add the language saying video recording, not live streaming.
Yes.
Make that clear.
No, we don't live stream. Yes, just video recording of the meetings. They have to be posted with the minutes. That's the requirement. So.
Well, Matthew, I appreciate everything you did on this. That was some serious studying and reaching back from experience and mistakes we made, and the experience we gained sure has shown up here. So thank you so much.
I'll make Dee Dee's job easier.
Yeah. But I would ask that y'all do approve this. And of course, it's a living document, so to speak.
That's
I make a motion to approve along with the corrections, Matthew, that you're going to
There's
make.
two, so as
on-
far as I know, add the 20-foot requirement for media at any other location other than this room, and then add the video recording requirement, but excluding live stream.
And where will the documents be available?
Oh, I can distribute them to all department heads.
Yeah.
Did you get that, Lee? Okay.
So I got a motion from Bruce, looking for a second.
Second.
Second from Greg.
I didn't say it.
I don't want to twist anybody's arm. All right. Motion from Bruce, second from Greg. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. And Lee, that does pass. Thank you. You bet. All right. Number 826 from Mr. Dennis, and he's not here today, but that's okay because we have a sharp copier to hopefully approve for the fire marshal's new office at 2400 Beaumont Avenue. Cost of $193.91 a month. And Andy, how's your new office doing anyway? Okay, all right. Just need a copier. Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion from Bruce. Second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. There's 3 items on executive session that we'll go back and look at. Those are item number 813, 814, and 823. At this time, I would ask that you consider moving into executive session with a motion, a second, and a vote.
Make a motion to go executive session.
Motion from Bruce,
I'll second.
second from Gerald. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. All right, Lee, it's 11:17. How about that?
Yes, perfect.
And we are in executive session.
They're recording, Your Honor.
Thanks, sir. Okay, it's 12:29. Back in regular session from executive session. We have 3 items for consideration. Item number 13 was to consider and approve a tender offer of economic development incentives to Tension Steel, a steel pipe products company to be located in the Gulf Inland TERS. What is the court's pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to have our council renegotiate a 5-year starting when construction starts at 100% in the next 3 years, a 20 and 20 and 20.
Hang on,
So-
renegotiate.
Well,
You make a motion to deny the request.
Correct. Deny the request
and counter
and counter.
with a yeah,
There's no count.
Bruce, got it.
that's a counter offer.
I'm trying to hurry.
He's hungry.
A county offer of 100% the first 2 years and 20% the next.
Yeah, no deferment period.
100% for first 3,
Two.
First 2.
100% First 2 years
first 2.
and 20% the next 3.
Okay, I can fix that. Who moved? Bruce?
I did.
Okay, second.
Second.
Okay, got a motion from Bruce. Second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 814, consider and approve a settlement in the amount of $522.54 for damages to a Frontier cable located at County Road 1901 in Precinct 1, Liberty County, Texas. What say the court?
Good with that, Bruce? Second.
Motion to pay it, that's from Bruce. Second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. And that does, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
I gotta start over.
Oh,
Bruce, David,
and Gerald.
no, I'm sorry, who did the motion?
Bruce made the motion. Dave made the second.
Three ayes and one nay.
3 ayes.
So Greg is a nay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
We good. Yeah.
Okay, 23.
Okay, item 23, consider and appoint an interim administrator over the permits and inspections department. It's pretty self-explanatory. What say the court?
Make a motion to table this and let the department head work out and bring it back to court on our next court session on the decision.
I'll second it.
Okay, hang on.
Y'all, we can vote. Everybody second that one.
I'll let you have it. I wasn't looking, I wasn't looking.
Okay, you got
Oh, you're not talking about Melinda, you're talking about Gerald?
Gerald. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So Bruce made the motion, Gerald made the second. We'll see it on the next regular court session.
I will remind the court, I have jury duty on Monday.
With who?
Which court?
This court?
If it's in here, it's canceled.
No, it's judge. I can look it up on my phone. It's a visiting judge.
Okay, got a motion from Bruce, second from Gerald. Further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays.
Second.
Got a motion to adjourn. Let's see, that was
Second.
12.
Is this a part of ours right here or what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's that cue I cut. Oh, come on, man. I just
Bruce,
turned it up to 72. It's
second
just
from
72
David.
in here.
Everybody voted for it, and timeout is
It does.
12:34, Lee.